Something felt out of place at Molineux even before the final whistle. The scoreboard showed a simple 0-0, but the atmosphere around Newcastle United was far heavier than the result suggested. For those who follow the club closely, there were clear signs of frustration, the kind that do not appear in the statistics, but in the players' faces, their body language on the touchline, and the silence that followed the match. It was as if that draw was hiding something bigger, not yet fully exposed. The more attentive supporter knows that certain games tell stories that go beyond the 90 minutes, and this was exactly one of those cases. There was no defeat, no defensive collapse, yet there remained an uncomfortable sense of a missed opportunity. In matches like this, the manager's words often matter just as much as what happened on the pitch, and when Eddie Howe stepped up to speak after the game, it became clear that there were far more layers behind that seemingly straightforward result. Before moving on, it is worth a quick and direct invitation for those who regularly follow the channel. If you enjoy in-depth analysis, behind-the-scenes insight, and reliable news about Newcastle United, subscribing helps enormously to keep this content going and ensures you do not miss anything that truly matters to supporters. Now, returning to what happened in Wolverhampton, the picture became even more intriguing as the details began to emerge. Newcastle arrived, full of confidence, having won 3 consecutive Premier League matches and with a genuine chance of climbing to 5th place in the table. The opponent, on the other hand, was bottom of the league, stuck in the relegation zone and sitting 14 points from safety. On paper, everything pointed towards a favourable night for the Magpies. But football rarely follows predictable scripts, and what unfolded was a tight, tense contest filled with obstacles. It was only at this point that the true scale of the night began to reveal itself. The goalless draw against Wolverhampton Wanderers not only brought Newcastle's positive run to an end, but also laid bare an issue that Eddie Howe did not attempt to hide. For the first time in the history of Premier League meetings between the sides at Molineux, neither team managed to score, more than a statistical curiosity. This became the backdrop for strong comments from the manager about his team's attacking form. On the pitch, Newcastle controlled possession for much of the match, but struggled badly to turn that dominance into clear-cut chances. The team managed just 1 shot on target, and that came in the closing minutes, an extremely low number for a side looking to establish itself in the upper reaches of the table. Wolverhampton, despite their difficult position in the league, defended in a compact shape, closing down space and relying on rare counterattacks. After the final whistle, Eddie Howe went straight to the heart of his analysis. According to the manager, Newcastle controlled the game but failed in the area where they simply could not afford to. He highlighted finishing as a clear problem and admitted that chance creation did not function as it should have. Howe explained that the opposition defended very deep and in a compact manner, making any attempt to break through extremely difficult. In his words, the team ended up waiting for a moment of magic that never arrived. The manager also acknowledged the effort and commitment shown by the players, but suggested that quality may have been lacking in the final third. He described the match as a game of patience, in which Newcastle enjoyed plenty of the ball but were slow to increase the tempo. Howe admitted he would have liked to see a more aggressive approach immediately after half-time, when the team was still sluggish and allowed Wolves to organize themselves defensively with ease. Even so, not everything was framed as negative. Eddie Howe was keen to highlight the team's defensive solidity, pointing out that Newcastle dealt well with the threat of Wolverhampton's counterattacks. According to him, the hosts had some good moments in both halves, but the players showed attitude and an ability to recover. Keeping a clean sheet away from home was identified as the main positive of the night, even if the overall feeling remained one of frustration. Howe also reflected on the value of an away point. He said that, at first glance, supporters tend to see only the negative side, but with time it may be possible to identify some positives in the performance. Even so, he made it clear that the team left disappointed at not having one, reinforcing that it was a solid but incomplete display, defined by the absence of a goal that would have completely changed the narrative of the match. This context naturally led to a question that had already been forming in the minds of many supporters. Given the attacking difficulties, should Newcastle look for reinforcements in the transfer market? The performance at Molineux seemed to underline the need for new ideas in attack, or even new players capable of unlocking games like this. And it was precisely at this point that Eddie Howe delivered a statement that resonated strongly with fans and the English press. Asked about the possibility of signing a striker in January, Howe was clear and direct. He ruled out the idea, stating that he does not believe the club has the financial capacity to make such an investment at the moment. Before that, he was keen to defend the current squad, stressing that Nick Pope and Yoane Wissa are completely different players, but both are considered attacking options within the team's structure. Reinforcing his confidence in the group he has at his disposal, Howe said he is very proud to manage that squad and emphasized that he believes he has genuinely good players available. However, he did not shy away from responsibility, admitting that the attacking performance was not good enough. He acknowledged that Newcastle have had similar games away from home and said that if there are criticisms in that respect, they are entirely fair. For the manager, The challenge now is to find a way to score more goals away from St. James Park. This combination of self-criticism and financial limitation raised concerns among supporters. After all, if the problem has been identified and the market will not be used, the solution must come from within. That means tactical adjustments, changes in approach, and, possibly, individual improvement from some key players. It is this kind of dilemma that makes Newcastle's current moment both fascinating and highly challenging at this stage of the season. For those who follow the club on a daily basis, it is clear that the draw against Wolves could become a turning point, for better or worse. Matches like this often act as a mirror, revealing both strengths and limitations. And Eddie Howe's words reinforce the sense that Newcastle are in a period of reflection, assessing how far they can go with the current squad and what adjustments will be needed to remain competitive in the Premier League. If you are new to the channel, this is the type of analysis we offer here, always looking beyond the scoreline and providing the full context around Newcastle United. Subscribing is a simple way to support this work and ensure you receive the next updates and behind-the-scenes news as soon as they are published. The information in this video is based on Eddie Howe's official post-match press conference, as reported by English media outlets such as BBC Sport and Chronicle Live, ensuring the accuracy of the facts presented. Based on those comments, the picture becomes clearer. Newcastle remain competitive and defensively solid, but are still searching for attacking solutions away from home. The frustration at Molineux was not just about the result, but about the feeling that there was room for more. And when the manager himself publicly acknowledges that, the message is a strong one both for the players and for the supporters who follow every step of the team. Now, the big question is how Newcastle will respond to this challenge. Without attacking reinforcements, at least according to Howe's words, progress must come internally. Training sessions, adjustments, and strategic decisions will carry even greater weight in the coming rounds. Every away game will be a test, not only of consistency, but of creativity and efficiency, areas that fell short against Wolverhampton.